Hey everybody, my name is Mark Walker. I'm doing this for my brother from another, Jeremy, the extraordinaire in love. Love is a parable. Love you, my brother, and I appreciate you wanting me to do a spot on love. So let me start here. Love is an incredible thing. Apostle Paul said, you can have all the gifts, the money, the talents in the world, but if you don't have love, you have nothing. And let me tell you something. In the last 5 to 10 years, I've learned that lesson very, very thoroughly. The people that I've loved the most, I mean, have caused me the most pain. There's different types of love. Love that you have for your children, love that you have family and friends, people that love you, you love them, of course. And then there's, the romantic love, you know, the intimate love that you have with, with your partner, your significant other, your spouse, that deep love, that penetrating love. And then there's this thing that God calls agape love, an unconditional love. And that is what he was teaching me. He was trying to teach me agape love when the romantic love failed me. And it failed me miserably. And why? I still don't really know. Because I'm not like all these other guys that's out here cheating and running around and lusting after this chick and, ain't got his money together and blah, 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 blah. I'm very respectful, very everything, honestly, because I'm definitely afraid of what God would do to me, knowing the things that I know and knowing how he's positioned me, how he's favored me and blessed me. So I can't be like that. So at the end of the day, I had to look deeper into why, things may have happened the way they happened. Romantic love brought me some of the greatest times of my life, but it also brought me some of the most horrible times of my life when it wasn't there anymore. And I had a decision to make. Am I going to be real and be true to what God said do and show unconditional love to my now enemies? Or am I going to become like my enemies and hate in return for the hate that they gave me? Am I going to avenge myself? Or is my response going to be love through the hate? And I chose to love through the hate because I didn't want to become a captive to the enemy. Whereas I look at so many people in my life, they were one way, and this year they were nice and kind and sweet, but something deep happened to them. And they sit up there in this bitterness and this grief and this constant anger, and they're sitting up here and it's like that person that hurt them now has this type of control over them. And it's brought out a darkness and a coldness that I don't even recognize. And so I had a decision to make. Am I going to look like my enemy or am I going to look like God? Am I going to be like God told me to be? Am I going to be light in the darkness? So at the end of the day, it's a challenge for all of us to show agape love, even to those who hurt us deeply, because that's the only way we have true freedom. That is why Jesus did what he did. And I'll tell you this as a testimony. There's so many former enemies in my life because God used them as footstools because of the way I handled the offenses and handled the assaults. I can't tell you how many people have circled back and said, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You deserve better than that. That's freedom. Because if I would have struck them like they struck me, I would be no different. And the hate would continue. Hate only begets more hate. Fire only begets more fire. Fire is put out by water. Hate is put out by love. I praise God. I thank God that I can say with confidence that I stepped out and stepped on faith and said I'm going to love these enemies and I'm going to bless these enemies regardless. Because at the end of the day, it is my passion, it is my conviction to ensure that as many people as I come in contact with do not fall into that captivity of grief and darkness and bitterness of heart pain because of what love does on the other end. Love is beautiful, but also love can be disastrous. But it's our choice. How will you respond? One love. Peace, man.